All right, guys, we're back. Episode 15 of Out the Top. I'm Brian Dunnigan, coming from Rock Life Studios in Monticello, Kentucky. We have been absent for a week or two. Life, once again, got in our way. Well, there's no point in lying about it. We were going to record last week, and my ass was just beat. So I called it off, and then this last week was 4th of July, so we let everybody do that. So we're coming in a little late this week. We're a week late for last week, but you get the point. All right, so we're here. Got Dan back with us. How are you?
Doing good. I'm like you. Feel like I've been rode hard and put up wet.
Dude, it's been bad. June, we were all fussing up here in Kentucky anyways that it was the coldest June we've ever had. It was miserable, cold, rain. About 10 days ago, somebody turned the damn heater on, and it hasn't stopped. I don't know. I'm not built for this. Give me a jacket.
Yeah, I know. I've got a buddy that he was telling me the other day. He's like, "Oh, I love all this hot weather. You know, I don't like cold weather." And it's like, man, let's just meet in the middle. I would just say anywhere from like 65 to 85, I would be okay with.
70 and sunny.
That's it.
70 and sunny. We have hit hillbilly, the upper level of hillbilly status here. We got our above ground pool installed the other day.
Nice.
Yes, and it wasn't a minute too soon. We got to get in it the first time this afternoon, and I don't care. Everybody says they're a pain in the ass and they're way too much work, and I just don't care. I got home today from work and went straight to the damn pool. It's about half full. It's not even filled up yet. It was about half full, and we jumped in, and me and the boys sit in there until I left to come back up here and record. So we was in there for like 2.5 hours, and it's probably the best I felt all week.
Oh yeah, we're along the same lines. We talked about doing like the stock tank pool because that's pretty cool. That's kind of our vibe. But we used to usually go to Walmart once a year and grab just a cheap blow up pool.
That's what we had last year, and it wouldn't have been so bad if I had a level yard.
Yeah.
Or somewhere just to plop it out, but it I don't know. We talked about getting one, talked about not getting one, and then in the last month, everything. She said she wanted a pool. I said, go get one. So here we are.
There you go.
Yeah, we're good. We're in heaven. What else? Anything else been going on?
Not a whole lot. Just been fighting work and trying to find time to work on the buggies, get everything ready for West Virginia coming up in a couple of weeks. And then I promised Jody in this downtime that we would do some sort of vacation. So we're heading to Biloxi next weekend. So we're going to hang out in Biloxi for a few days and come back home and get ready for West Virginia.
Did you find your you were having turbo issues? Do you have any luck with that?
Okay, so far what I've done, Mike Hurd with Aftermarket Assassins has been my go-to on all that, and let me tell you, that man drops what he's doing for all of his customers.
Dude, Mike is awesome.
Oh yeah, so I can't praise him enough for as much help that he's been. So apparently the first run of turbos, like 1 in 10 were having those slight issues. And I don't know that mine was one of those, but he graciously offered to take a look at it, and we shipped it out to him, and we're waiting to hear back from him on that. So I told him what we were looking at as far as like a deadline to get back to the, buggy, get everything put back together and get back to racing. He said worst case scenario, he would just ship me a new one and keep my old one until he gets it fixed.
Dude, that's Mike's always. So when we started Rock Life, Aftermarket Assassins was one of the first. I'm going to kill a cat.
It sounds like you got a cat loose.
Good day. It's really wanting in here bad with this air conditioning. Aftermarket Assassins was one of our first aftermarket companies that we picked up, and I got to talk to Mike quite a bit back in the day. I've not talked to him as much recently. That company has grown and gotten so big, and I always, anybody listening to this, if you ever deal with aftermarket assassins, shoot them a text, shoot them an email. They'll get back to you. Don't call him. He probably ain't going to answer the phone. The dude's got too many irons in the fire, but he does sit down several times a day and reply to emails and text messages, and he'll get you taken care of.
Right. And you got to understand where he's coming from too, because I think he said he had 15 employees. So if he is keeping those guys busy and he's on the phone all day, it just don't work for him.
Dude, when he started, it was him and 2 or 3 more.
Right.
And it just keeps snowballing and keeps getting bigger. So it's man, I'm glad to be associated with them in any way. They've never, anything I ask of him, he takes care of it.
Right.
So that's awesome. It's good to have stand up people like that, I guess, in this industry where it's so easy to be shady.
Right.
Right.
We hear way too much of that going on, but it's cool. And a lot of our sponsors are stand up guys. Anytime you need them, they're right there. Basically, the best way to deal with anybody nowadays is email, and that way there's a kind of a paper trail of the discussions, what you need, what's going on. So everybody's been top notch helping us out, trying to get us ready for West Virginia.
Yeah, I'm excited. All right, so what I want to do today is National Rock Race Association is a 10-week race series. We run 9 what you would call regular season races, and then we have finals. This isn't technically the mid-season, but we've been off since early May.
Right.
We're going in. We've got a race coming back in July, and then we're pretty much back on the regular schedule the rest of the year. So we wanted to go ahead and do like a mid-season review now. Just to kind of see, before we get back in the back end of this season, just to kind of see where everybody's at. So what we're going to do is we're going to run down the rundown. So usually at the end of the episodes, I do a rundown and we go over finishing order, points, and so on and so forth. What we're going to do is I've got the top 5 from each class. I've got everybody who's got a win in each class, and we're just going to kind of talk about that class just a little bit, maybe some surprises, what we think is going to happen in the back half of the season, things of that nature. So we'll start with the bouncer class. We'll just get right into it. So far this year, we've got 3 different winners, and this one's going to be a little weird because I'm not sure how this is going to play out. Our points leader is Brandon Davis with 356. He is tied with Wade Good, who also has 356. Now, Wade is not racing. That buggy has sold, changed hands. I'm not sure what the point situation is for that buggy. Who's got that now?
I believe Dan Bowman wound up with the buggy. It changed hands fairly quickly over the past few weeks.
Well, fairly quickly over the past, or the first 12 or 16 hours after the waffle. That thing was everywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what the point situation is going to be for that. I don't know if he's already ran, if he can run. Typically what happens is you can have a teammate, and Wade was selling the buggy with the points.
Right.
So if Dan's eligible, then Dan inherited second place in points.
Right. That's where my mind would have been. Like if we would have wound up with that buggy, I would have had to step in the shadows and ran for Wade's points. That would have been the smart thing to do.
Yeah.
Because you're basically, like you said, you're tied for first. Go ahead and finish the season in the shadows of Wade and try to help put him and you on the podium.
Yeah, because, in the end, Wade's run 4 races, or I guess he run all 4. So he's got almost half the season. He's accumulated those points. So whatever happens with that buggy, Wade is a big part of that still. I'm just not sure how that's going to shake out. So for the sake of, I guess, our conversation in this series today, we're going to leave that buggy and Wade out of like any predictions or anything like that, because we just don't know how that's going to fall.
Right.
But so you got Brandon Davis in first with 356. Daniel Heckley is in third with 342. Jay Stortz in fourth with 294. Cooper Bentley in fifth with 292. So everybody is within less than 2 hills.
Right.
The top 5 is one DNF from getting real close. Justin Wills has got 1 win on the season. Of course, Wade had 2. Daniel Heckley got 1. I'm not real sure how this is gonna. Brandon has it in his hand if he wants it, I guess. He's just got to keep being consistent, and then he could possibly take over that championship position.
Right.
So let's do this. What would be your and I'll go back, and we made predictions at the start of the year in our very first episode, and I'll go back and get those predictions and pair them up with what we're doing now, and we'll post those on social media. That way everybody can see. And I don't even remember what our predictions were, but I'll go back.
Either.
I'll go back and listen to it, and we'll make some posts on socials about that. So, give me what do you think is going to be? What's your new top 3?
I would say my new top 3. I mean, Jay has stepped up the last few times I've seen him drive. So if he can hold it together, I feel like he would probably lock in third. And then Daniel and Brandon, they what I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I think they've got a little bit of a side bet going. And those two are going to be neck and neck for the rest of the season. Man, I don't know. I'd love to see Brandon get a national championship.
I think Brandon, as long as he keeps running like he usually runs, I mean, I think it's there for him.
Yeah.
The second place, I feel like Daniel Heckley's probably, barring any mechanical malfunctions, I guess, or anything like that. I feel like your first and second is going to be a battle, and then I think we're going to have a battle for third.
I do too. I see Justin Wills sneaking up there, and giving Cooper and Jay some competition.
Well, I hope Cooper gets his steering issue figured out. They're still having trouble throwing power steering pumps or
Right.
throwing the belt.
Right.
They thought they had that figured out, and it appears it's still not figured out. If he can get that under control, him and Jay are going to have a tough battle for third, and Justin Wills, if he continues on, man, it's going to be tight.
Right.
I don't know what to expect out of that season or out of that series. And then have you heard when's the debut of DC Thompson coming?
Last time I talked to him, I think they were still waiting on axles. So I think they've got the motor situated now. It's just hopefully he can get up there and get him some points.
I as far as points go, I'm just curious of what he can do to shake up the points. He's not going to be able to compete and get up to the top 3. I just want to see the shakeup, because
I think you'll see that as soon as he's able to break the beams. I feel like he's going to be one that everybody needs to watch for.
Yeah, because right now, so if you take Wade out of it, we've only had 2 winners this year. Justin Wills, Daniel Heckley. Brandon Davis has got to get a win at some point.
Right.
If DC shows up, give him a run or two, and he's going to be a threat.
Right.
Jay Stortz can win a race any weekend. Cooper, if he gets his power steering fixed, they could win a race any weekend. I wouldn't be surprised if Clint Garrison sneaks up and gets a win sometime this season. So the bouncer class is far from over.
Right.
And then if the point situation for Wade's buggy, let's say they do get to run for Wade's points, that's a whole nother game there. So I don't know. That bouncer class is going to be tough.
Right. And two, we didn't even think, which we know that it's coming, but Jason Phelps, he's from what I understand, he's getting everything dialed back in, ready to run. I'm not sure if he's coming to West Virginia, but that's another one I feel like could shake up the points.
I don't know if he's going to make West Virginia. I look for him to be at Rush if he gets it all back together and ready. I'm interested to see what can be done in that buggy when Timmy's not driving it.
Right.
Jason's going to have his hands full. He's a full blown rookie, so that could be interesting. I'm anxious for the return of Tyrant.
Right.
All right. So UTV Cup. This class also wide open after 4 events. Our top 5. Clay Kaysen does have a pretty good lead with 377 points. Brandon Davis is in second with 325. Casey Howell in third with 296. Nathan King in fourth with 278. And Cody Kaysen with 255. Our winners so far in the Cup Series. Of course, Cash won a race, but he's not full-time. Nathan King's won a race. Cooper Bentley's won a race. And then Clay Kaysen has won a race. So that series, Clay's got a whole hill lead going into, and I mean, he's fast.
Yeah. He's been working with DW, and he's putting out a little bit more horsepower than he was at finals for Outlaw. So I feel like he's probably going to hang on to first. I see his brother Cody. I feel like Cody's probably going to creep on up a little bit closer to the podium this year too.
I think Cody is just as quick as his brother. Mm-hmm. He's just got to get used to that buggy and get on up there. But man, this class is, I mean, it's outside of the first place. Everybody else is pretty tight. Second to fifth is only 70-something points.
That's crazy.
So that's going to be interesting. We talked about in the very first episode, we talked about Nathan King quite a bit. Can he hold it together? I don't know if he's points racing still, but man, he's right there. He's quick. Casey Howell is somebody who I've been, he's leading the bounty points, and he's sitting in third in the Cup points.
Yeah.
Been really impressed with the way he's been running. The Cup class of boys is fast, man.
Yeah.
It's a whole different animal than the bounty. It's more technical, more speed.
Right.
But it's wide open. So give me your top 3 in that class.
I definitely feel like it's going to be, Brandon's one you got to watch. So I know, I feel like it's going to be Clay, Brandon, and Cody. So
Cody's got to make up over 40 points, but I think he is very capable. I'm going to go. I think Clay's really going to have to mess up to lose it. Right. So Clay could be a double champion, Outlaw Series and National Rock. Brandon, he's right there. I don't know. It depends on how these courses lay out. Because remember, he is running a stock Can-Am.
Right.
He's not in a chassis. I feel like, man, I want to see Casey Howell do so good. But I'm trying not to. I'm trying not to be a fan here. I'm trying to pick Clay Kaysen. I think Casey passes Brandon at some point, and then third. I just don't think Nathan can hold on. I think Clay, Casey, and Cody.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. UTV Bounty class. Like I said, Casey Howell is the leader in that class with 263 points. Tyler Bradley with 230. Madison King 202. Dan has 187, sitting in fourth, and Clint Strain with 184 in fifth. So far, Casey's got a win, DC Thompson's got a win, old part-timer Wyatt Wilson's got a win, and Dan got a victory this year down at Hot Springs. So, the bounty class as we know, Casey has got a pretty good lead, but the bounty class can bite you real quick.
Yeah.
So nobody, I don't think, is safe at all in that series. I don't know. Like I said, I want to see Casey do good.
Right.
I want to see Tyler Bradley do good.
You and me both.
Dude, he had such a rough year last year. I want to see him do good. I don't know. I just don't know how. I have no idea how that series is going. Ideally, I'd love for us to win it, but
Right.
I just don't know how that series as a whole is going to shake out. It's the one I like to watch more so than anything, but I just don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because, last year we points raced, and we after we did that, we knew it took the fun out of it, so we weren't even going to focus on it this year. But I still would love to. I think we ended up third last year. I'd love to get a little bit better than third this year, but it's one of those classes that takes takes guts to hit some of that stuff, and especially hit it before the big bouncers do. But as far as like top three in there, man, I don't know. It's going to be really interesting. I'm like you. I'd love to see Casey hold down the points. I'd really love to see Tyler on the podium. Tyler has fought really hard the last few years, and I feel for Tyler because I see a lot of us in Tyler because it's always something ridiculous. I mean, it's like his buggy will run great. He does the cup class with that same buggy, and he does fairly decent in the cup class, and then it comes to the bouncer class, and he starts having hiccups, and little just gremlins just come out of the woodwork to mess him up. And I don't know if it would be really nice to see him hold it down, and then I would like to see us pull a third or better. So I guess that would be my top three.
I think I'm not going to put no pressure on you, but we're only 50 points out of second. I think that's doable if we get on a good run in the back half of the season. Now, I've heard these West Virginia hills ain't no joke.
Right.
I talked to Dustin Havens today, and he said the last time that he was there that it was pretty rowdy. So that could play out several different ways. One bad bounce on hill one, and that wrecks somebody's day.
Right.
So literally somebody in, the fifth place guy could almost go to first in
Right.
one weekend. So it's not, and it's not. I don't know. It's not nowhere near being over in that class. I would like to see Casey do good. I mean, he's earned it. He took the very first race of the year, and he's not really slowed down. And they've worked and worked and worked. I did hear a rumor there was debate on if he was running Rush, I think. There's a schedule conflict with him and something else, and I'm not sure how that's going to play out as far as season totals go. I have a strong feeling, though, if he's still up in the points after West Virginia, it's going to be real hard to make yourself miss a race.
Right.
But we'll see how that plays out. I think Casey could very well take it. I'm gonna pick us for second, and I'm gonna leave Tyler in third. So that would be, Casey first, us second, and then Tyler Bradley in third. But Tyler, that could go anywhere.
Right. Like you said, all it takes is a bad day for anybody in West Virginia. And same with Rush. If depending on what hills we hit at Rush, that could throw a wrench into things.
I'm real curious on what we're going to run at Rush. I've not been up there in a couple years, so I don't know what the situation is up there.
Right.
If we're back on the backside, the good thing is Clyde likes to do all of his races together. So if we're back in the horseshoe, I forget what it's called. If we're back in that little area, I have a feeling we'll be on the side with the jump. I don't think we'll be doing the other side because there's nothing there but a vertical wall.
Right. Yeah. I would like to save the car.
Yeah. That's one of them. We just roll up, put your front tires on it, and save it for another weekend. Play the smart move. Right. But I think, man, Casey. I didn't know much of Casey last year. My cat just is bound and determined to be on this podcast. We're gonna have to get her in here for an interview one of these days. She talks a lot. But yeah, I've not known. I didn't pay much attention to Casey from last year. He's somewhat local to this area here. Maybe I should have. But he came out the gates this year swinging. So I don't know. I look for him. I hope he does good.
I do too, but I don't remember him racing a whole lot last year. I know that he's self-employed and trying to get his business going. So, a lot of these guys have to let racing come second. So I understand that, but hopefully he'll be able to finish the season out.
I think he will. So hopefully that the big thing with the bounty class is finish hills. Right. The man that can finish the most hills most of the time is going to do really well. And that's what bit us last year. There was a couple races where we didn't get any finishes.
Right.
And that killed it. So if you can finish hills in that series, whether you're the fastest or not, if you can finish both hills every weekend, that's going to put you on the podium a couple times throughout the year and put you high in the points.
That's right.
So it's just picking lines, man, picking lines. All right, so our last class is going to be the UTV stock. We'll run over their points real quick. Jay Stortz is the points leader with 349. Brandon Davis, once again, with 335. Justin Hoback with 308. Braden Upchurch with 306. And then Dan's coming in fifth with 280. So far, now this is where it gets interesting. We've had 4 races, 4 different winners. Only one is a series regular. Clint Garrison's got a win. Paul Wolf's got a win. Adam Coots has a win. And then Jay Stortz has a win. So this series, I think Jay, in my eyes, as long as he can hold together.
That's right.
Dude. As long as that machine will hold together for him, he's going to win.
That's it. He's my number one pick.
Dude, he is driving that Razor like a madman. I don't know how it stays together. And a couple times I don't think it has.
Right.
But as long as it holds together and it doesn't bite him on the first run of the day or something somewhere, nobody's beating him.
You just got to keep helping him out with good parts.
Dude.
That's what he says. He's like, every time I break something, I'm hoping Brian will give me something better.
We always try and build it up. He runs a lot of things in that was stock when he started, and as he's breaking, we're just upgrading him. Right. But he's driving the wheels off that thing. Brandon's doing really good. Justin is surprisingly fast in that 4-seater.
Right.
I didn't think we would be seeing him race this year.
Right.
After his incident at finals last year.
Mm-hmm. He had a bad landing.
Yeah. So I'm really surprised he's racing, and I'm even more surprised that he is still fast.
Yeah. I'm glad to see that he's stuck with it.
Yeah, I am too, because if it'd been me, I'd been like, nah, I'm good.
Right. And I'd like to see him on the podium this year for finals.
Yeah, I think he can do it. Braden is doing exceptionally well. He is right there. He got a podium finish at Wildcat.
Right.
If he can keep it under him, I think he has a chance to be in the top 3 before the year's out. I think we have a chance in the top 3. This is the tightest class out of all of them.
Right.
Jay's going to be tough.
It is. He is.
Jay's going to be extremely tough. Everybody in this class is tough. I just don't know. This one's hard to pick.
I think for me, I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off and say Jay for first. Man, Brandon's tough to beat. So I'm thinking Brandon's going to be second. Hoback and Upchurch. I see Braden getting his act together and maybe pulling off third. But he's going to have to be consistent.
He is fast. He is fast usually about everywhere we go. He had a little hiccup out at Disney, got hung up. He's fast as long as he can control that speed. If he continues, let me put it this way: if he continues to improve from where he was last year, at the rate he was improving from last year, he's going to be tough. He could get possibly. He could sneak up to second. I don't think he's going to beat Jay Storts, but I think he could work his way up to second as long as he keeps harnessing that speed instead of just, I don't know, carelessly driving a million miles an hour. I don't know. And then I think we can do it, man.
Yeah, we've seen what the machine will do, and it's faster than it was last year. And if I could just harness the driving style that was going on at finals last year in the stock class, I think we'll get a few notches up. We should move a few notches up.
Yeah, I think it's there. Listen, we talked about this after maybe a couple episodes back. I don't know how you drive the damn thing as fast as you do. Old girl's been rode hard and put up wet.
She's wore.
She's had her day. I sent you I didn't just randomly the other day. I sent Dan this message of a brand new Polaris Turbo R sitting in the dealership ready to be picked up. I didn't send it because I thought it was pretty. I was like, hey, there's one sitting here. Go get it. If old girl had some makeup on her, I think that'd help.
Yeah. That's hopefully. I'm not gonna lie. I got a few finances I've got to take care of, but hopefully at the end of the summer we'll be able to pull the trigger on a new one.
I'm excited. I'm excited to be working with Polaris. I'm excited that they're on board with us. I'm even more excited that at some point you will end up with a new machine to be playing with.
Right.
I'm anxious to see how that works out. Just to feel a new machine again.
Right.
Because listen, up here doing service and stuff, I have to be really careful. Because every machine we do, if we do any kind of real work to it, I personally like to get them out and drive them.
Mm-hmm.
I listen for noises. I make sure everything's right. I feel I run it through some bumps and make sure there's nothing loose. And every now and again, I get in one, like a turbo razor that's on 29-inch tires. And I'm used to driving stuff with 32s, 35s on it up here, and they all turn rough, and it's hard to, do this and do that. And you get into something with a set of 29s on it that's brand new.
Right.
Dude, they drive like Cadillacs.
Oh, yeah. Good, nice, tight car is hard to beat.
Dude, they drive so good. And I got in, actually, I think it was Lane got in one back a while, and he's like, man, this thing drives great. I said, yeah, it's not beat to death.
Right.
Like, that's what a Razor drives like.
Right.
Like, we just abuse them, beat them up, change the geometry in the suspension by putting forward A-arms and big tires and all that stuff on them. I said, but from the factory, they drive brilliant.
Right.
And but just getting back into something new that's not been beat on. I think that's going to be a big improvement, if not for this year, for next year. But
Right.
old girl's still got some speed in her.
Yeah.
I hope to. I think we get a couple podiums for the years out in that buggy.
Yeah, I would really like to see that car on the podium. I think we've only been in a podium with that car just a handful of times. Even if that, I don't even think it's been like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I
But
guess the last one was at finals, wasn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
but I would love to get a couple of first places in that old car before we retire.
I think it's doable. With that new, we were talking about this the other day, and I've got to get my act together. Super ATV's come out with that new 600 watt power steering. I think that may be a game changer for that machine.
Right.
I think that may be a game changer for the other one as well. And I need to get on the horn and get that taken care of this week. But
yeah, Super ATV's listening. We just go ahead and do that 2-for-1 deal. That
Corey Jackson, are you listening to me?
make an exception for us. We love you guys.
Yeah, listen, Super has been great to work with.
Yeah. Man.
They were also one of the very first vendors I got with when I opened Rock Life. And those guys have been there. I've worked with Corey up at Super ATV through back when we helped Travis Skelton race. Got him some sponsorship through Super and through Corey that way. They've been on my buggy, your buggy, for as long as I can remember. They're a real good company, and they really treat their customers well, and they work really good with us as a retailer for them as well. So I'm real grateful for those guys. They got some good stuff coming.
Oh yeah, and the thing I like about them too is like the company has done some management changes, and the new CEO was down at Top Trails for the Southern Bounty Series. Met him and talked to him, and I like how interested he was in both the rock racing aspect of it, plus the Southern Bounty stuff, the mud stuff, and they're really interested, and they're willing to listen to the drivers, and they're always up for suggestions. So, can't wait to see what's in store for those guys coming up next few years.
Yeah, they are getting more innovative with some of the things they're doing. They're not just sticking to, well, we've got a product.
Right.
They want to make sure that they're always improving their products. They catch a lot of grief from a lot of guys online, but I've said this time and time again, you have people who bust tires.
Right.
It wouldn't matter if they had a damn anvil for a tire. They'd break it.
Right.
You got people that break axles, they're going to break them.
That's right.
So you've always got that crowd of people that's hard on stuff. And if you're hard on stuff all the time, you're going to have problems with stuff. But, man, all the Super ATV products we've ever had on our personal machines, I've never had a minute's issue with any of it. So they're good people, good products. We carry a lot of that in store, sell a lot of it. Didn't mean to get off on a Super ATV tangent there. But so anywho, so there's our season. Vin class, there's only 5 of you guys in there. That's still wide open.
And drop the bomb on this. We probably won't be back in the Vin car until Hawk Pride. I just I don't really know about lugging that thing all the way to West Virginia with us. So we may bring it to Rush, but like I said, we're not doing as great in that class as I wanted to. And Charles is going to be tough to beat this year.
He is going to be tough. He is driving the wheels off his Jeep. So the Vin class, there's only those 4 guys. So it's pretty well is what it is. The youth class, those kids are doing really well. I didn't check the points on them, but I know Brantley is busting tail in that series. Right. As well as there's a whole slew of young female drivers.
That's right.
That are tearing it up. And that makes me happy. That we've got some young females who are interested in it, and maybe they will continue to be interested in it throughout their teenage years and up into the bigger classes, because that's something we don't see a whole lot of. You know, we've had a few. We've got Madison running now in the UTV classes. We don't see a whole lot of females at the races, and it's a good change of pace. Good to have new blood to root for. So hopefully they stay the course. Overall, throughout the year, any big real surprises other than the Wade situation? Anything that really surprised you?
Right. Other than that, that came out of nowhere, and it's other than that, that's about it.
Me, as far as I am actually. I'm a little surprised about Justin Wheels has been doing pretty good. I really thought they'd do better. And I don't mean to, I'm not trying to down what they're doing because they're doing really well. But he done really good in the older buggy.
Right.
And I kind of expected them to come out in this new one and set the world on fire. And they did win a race. But they've had some ups and downs since then.
Right.
So that's kind of a surprise. I actually, he was one of my picks, I think, for the top 3. I'm surprised he's not there. Maybe they'll get that thing straightened out and they'll climb their way back to the top.
Yeah, but, I think so. I'm with you. I'm thinking he may have been my top 3 as well. And I feel like it's just new car jitters. I feel like he's just trying to get the bugs out of everything.
Yeah, I know they have spent numerous hours suspension tuning that thing. Disney, they literally wrung a wheel off and finished the run on 3 tires, 3 wheels. So they've had some bad luck, but I am still surprised that they didn't. They're not a little ahead of where they are. I just felt like I don't know. I had really high hopes. Maybe I set it too high for myself because listen, them new car blues is real.
Right.
They're real. And we talked about that. When we get our buggy done, I want to vet it extremely well before it ever sees a race course.
Right.
And that's to get some of those new car blues out of it. So, I don't know. Got a lot of racing to do. 6 more races in about 3 months.
Right. Looking forward to it, but not looking forward to the heat.
Dude, I don't know whose idea it was to race in July. I dread it. We're going to be at Rock Life. Will be at the West Virginia race in Canvas, West Virginia on July 21st. We will be at Rush for the next event. And then I think Rock Life, I think, is out for a couple. And then we'll be back for Bikini Bottoms and finals. We'll be there, but we're going to miss a few in between. We actually, you're going to be racing that weekend in Missouri, I think.
Right.
We're going down to Ride for a Cure down in Indian Mountain in Piedmont, Alabama. We're going to do some work with those guys on that event, try and help them. Rock Life has picked up the sponsorship for one of their events. We're sponsoring the Levi Carter's Air Out Challenge.
Oh, that'll be good.
Yeah.
That'll be a good time.
You put us and Levi together. Oh, God. I dread it.
Waffle House, watch out.
No. All right, so we've got the National Rock Racing Association Round 5 coming up at Good Evening Ranch in Canvas, West Virginia. I think it is July 21st weekend. We're going to be doing a show the week prior to that, and then we'll be on the week after that. So don't look for anything next week. Not a whole lot going on in the rock racing world, but we do like to stay in contact and keep everybody up to date on what's going on as much as we can. Daniel, good to talk to you. Hopefully we'll get to see you in a week or two.
Appreciate you having me, and we'll see you guys in a few weeks.
Right on. We out. Hey guys, Brian from Rock Life Offroad here with some exciting news. September 14th through the 17th, the 6th annual Ride for a Cure is coming back to Indian Mountain in Piedmont, Alabama. This event is going to be huge with over $40,000 in giveaways. Big bouncers, UTV extreme hill climb, knockout racing, barrel racing, novice classes, poker runs, kids drag race, and my favorite, the Levi's Air Out Challenge presented by Out the Top. Even giving away a fully custom built Razor chassis on site that weekend. Guys, don't forget, September 14th through the 17th, 6th annual Ride for a Cure, Indian Mountain.